Well, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Mount Rushmore, NASCAR Mount Rushmore. And this week we go through our NASCAR Mount Rushmore for Las Vegas Motor Speedway, going through the four greatest drivers in the history of Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the NASCAR Cup Series, and then also naming my GOAT of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. So like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what is your Mount Rushmore. But let's start to go through my Mount Rushmore of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The first guy I'm going to name here, early prediction, I do think that this driver will eventually become the GOAT of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He's arguably the best driver in the world, one of the best drivers in the Cup Series, and one of his best racetracks is Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And of course, I'm talking about the driver of the number 5, Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson with 3 victories, 9 top 5s, 14 top 10s, and 819 laps led at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He's already the all-time leading lap leader at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He's second in wins. He has one of the most top 5s and top 10s at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I think there's an argument to be made that he is the GOAT of Las Vegas Motor Speedway, especially since he hasn't raced as many races as the other 3 drivers on this list. But I think it's a little bit too early to say that he is the GOAT of Las Vegas Motor Speedway at the moment. Maybe if he wins this upcoming weekend, I will change my mind and change my tune on that. But I'd say he's probably second, maybe third, greatest driver at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, which leads us to our next driver. Our next driver on the Las Vegas Motor Speedway Mount Rushmore is one of the greatest drivers of all time. I think most people would put him on the Mount Rushmore of just all-time greatest NASCAR drivers. And of course, I'm talking about 7-time champion Superman JJ. Jimmie Johnson is the second driver I have on the NASCAR Mount Rushmore for Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He is tied for the most wins in the history of Las Vegas Motor Speedway with 4, 7 top 5s, and 10 top 10s, and 595 laps led at Las Vegas. Yeah, Jimmie Johnson had a great career, and I think there was a couple of tracks that were really strong for him, and I would say Las Vegas was one of them, a really good track for Jimmie Johnson. And I find it kind of interesting. There honestly isn't a lot of drivers out there with multiple victories at Las Vegas. Las Vegas has been around for almost 30 years now, a little bit under 30 years. It's been in the NASCAR Cup Series, and Jimmie Johnson just had a lot of success there throughout his career, which leads us to our next driver on the Mount Rushmore, and that would be current driver-owner Brad Keselowski, Brad K. Brad Keselowski, and then Team Penske in general. Penske have always been very strong at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Brad Keselowski had 3 victories at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, of course, all of them being with Team Penske. 9 top 5s, 14 top 10s, and 361 laps led. Out of the 4 members of my Las Vegas Mount Rushmore, Brad Keselowski is the driver with the least amount of laps led, but that also shows he was leading laps at the right time at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And Brad Keselowski, very talented driver. We'll have to see if he ends up on some more NASCAR Mount Rushmores throughout the season. And now on to our 4th and final driver on the NASCAR Mount Rushmore for Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And I would consider this driver also to be the GOAT of Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and probably the greatest driver who has ever raced for Team Penske, and that being Joey Logano, Smokin' Joe, the driver of the number 22. Joey Logano has 4 wins, so he's tied with Jimmie Johnson as the all-time win leader, and he is the active win leader with 8 top 5s, 15 top 10s, and 585 laps led at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Logano, of course, was also on last week's NASCAR Mount Rushmore for Phoenix Raceway, along with Jimmie Johnson, a very great driver in his own right. And maybe he can add to that total this weekend at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. But Team Penske has just always had so much success at this racetrack. And Logano, I think he's had more success than all of them. So just to go over the Mount Rushmore one more time, my 4 members of the Mount Rushmore, I have Kyle Larson as the first member on the Mount Rushmore and probably the future GOAT of Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I have 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson on my Mount Rushmore. I have Brad Keselowski, Pimp Keselowski on my Mount Rushmore. And then on my 4th member on the Mount Rushmore, and also the driver I consider to be the GOAT of Las Vegas Motor Speedway in the NASCAR Cup Series, Smokin' Joe, Sliced Bread, Joey Logano. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think is the Mount Rushmore for Las Vegas Motor Speedway? Who do you consider the GOAT of Las Vegas Motor Speedway? And then, of course, go watch the race at Las Vegas this weekend, the Pennzoil 400. And let me know your thoughts about all that in the comments. Even maybe let me know your pick to win this weekend. But for now, I'm Trackside Larry saying peace.